What's up, guys? In today's video, me and Casey will be breaking down this Saturday's huge home match against San Antonio. Must-win game. We'll break everything down right after this. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us at the Old Glory Red Report, a supporters channel by the supporters, for the supporters. Casey J, Mark Anthony, the usual suspects. You've seen us before. Still at Fort Rock Brewing. You know where to find us. So we got to jump into it, man. This Saturday, I know we got 2 games this week, but this Saturday night, San Antonio at home. And I'm just going to flat out say it right now. We have to win this game. If we think we are going to be a playoff team this year, we must win. What are your thoughts heading into this Saturday?
Yeah, absolutely. We kind of talked about it last time. Are we a playoff team? And if we're not going to win these next couple games, and definitely these next couple games, it's going to be probably not. These are crucial matches for San Antonio because we hit, I think you touched on it, we hit a bad run of games here. We have some tough teams coming up, and that's going to be tough, so we need to get wins. We're shooting this before the Open Cup, so hopefully we can win that Open Cup match, get a little momentum going into this game, get another win in San Antonio, and get that confidence building up.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, speaking of a bad run of form, San Antonio, their last USL win was on April 26th against Tacoma. And, you know, when we talk about the Tacoma Defiance, beating them at home is not really something to be terribly proud of, but that is their last win. They have 1 win in their last 6. Really eerily similar to us.
Yeah. 1, 2, and 2.
They are 0-5 on the road. They have not won a game on the road. They've only scored 3 goals on the road in 5 games. They've given up 11. So they're not a team that's getting blown out. I mean, their goal differential is actually very similar to ours, but they are losing, especially at home, or on the road, excuse me. And, I mean, let's be frank, man. They're one of the few teams that's below us in the standings right now. Yeah. I don't think they're a playoff team. I've seen a couple of their games. They don't look like a playoff team. And ultimately, man, we are going into a tough run of games here as we enter June, going into July. And you know what? Teams like New Mexico, Tulsa, those games, Portland, Reno coming up, Fresno again in the USL. I mean, those are going to be very tough games, so we have to get 3 points against a team that's so inviting. I mean, this feels like a slump buster kind of game, right? Like you gotta take it out on this team. And I think you gotta win convincingly. I'm not saying you gotta win 3 or 4-0, but this has to be a win where you hold possession, you step on their throats, maybe you win by a couple goals, but really you don't give them any light. You don't give them any breaks. You come out, you score early, you make it easy. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. This is a team that can be broken down quite easily. This is a team that we can go at. You talked about a crucial point that I kind of wanted to point out, and they kind of have the same issue in chances created and actually converting. Right now they have a 10.8 conversion ratio, 72 minutes per goal that they score, and right now they're at 139 shots taken with only 15 goals scored. So they are putting shots on, and they are doing their best to create those chances like we have, but they're just not getting it in the back of the net. And I think it's going to come down to what team can really just make it click. And hopefully we can use that Open Cup as a springboard to get that front line clicking. Yeah,
speaking of the Open Cup, San Antonio is still in the Open Cup as well. They did win their game. They played a lower division team. They got a scrappy win out there. So they are still alive in the Open Cup. So they will also be playing this Wednesday, so they don't get a benefit of not having
and they
a
played
midweek
at the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to have the 3 games on the bounce.
And they have to travel, where our boys are playing Wednesday, but they're at home. So
do you know if their cup games away or home?
I can't tell you. I don't know off the top of my head, to be honest with you. But still, I mean, they have to play. They played at the weekend. They play Wednesday. Then they got to get on a plane, come all the way out west. You got to get the 3 points here. And you know what? I'll take it. If it's ugly, like, don't get me wrong, I'll take the 3 points if it's ugly, but I think we all want to see a game that gives us confidence to move forward as we play New Mexico in our next USL game, and a couple of those tough upcoming opponents. So we want to see our guys maybe gain some confidence in a win. Maybe a couple guys get on the score sheet, some attacking, free-flowing.
That would be huge.
Football would be beautiful to see.
Yeah. It's critical to know that San Antonio, all 13 out of 15 of their goals have came from inside the box. So they're a team that wants to work the ball into the box and get shots close on. And 11 of those came from left foot. So bringing the ball in from the right onto that left foot. So it's going to be a very big challenge for who's out there on the right, Gomez out on the right, defending that wing. I think that's going to be a key battle in this one. It's something that I thought was a crucial fact to think of.
They do have 2 goals outside of the box, though.
They do. They do.
From
They have
Jack
2.
Barnby, and we've seen him before. He used to play for Timbers, too. A player that we talked about last year and a guy to watch out for Timbers in one of our videos. He has now moved on to San Antonio. He plays actually in a central role for them when he was more of a winger. He's got a left foot. He has 2 of his 3 goals are outside the box. So we do need to watch out for his long-range efforts. However, he can be a liability in defense. And him playing in the center part of the pitch, I think our guys can work the ball through the middle there. That is something that we have not done this season. I would like to see more penetrating passes from our center backs or our defensive midfielders, Ray Sari, into guys like Awasa, Bonomo, whoever's playing in the middle, into their feet. Maybe we can get some players running off in that type of attack.
Yeah, and in the same way we kind of talked about earlier, where they're similar to us in the fact that they're not taking chances created, is they're letting goals in the back now. They're 1.6 goals per game let in, and that's not a good number when you're trying to be a good team. They're also already got 3 penalties given up this season, which is something that Bonomo has been able to take advantage in other teams, the nervy back line. So if he's in there, maybe he's able to win that penalty again with a nervy back line that we've seen already give up penalties this season. So.
Yeah, and we talked about Brian Gomez, 3 goals and 3 assists for them. I think he is their most potent attacking player when you add the goals and the assists.
Yeah, right behind him is Guzman.
But what I've been wondering is one player that we know who's really good is Billy Forbes. Billy Forbes has been one of the better players in the USL, super pacey on the wing, but he has not put up numbers this year.
It's kind of like you talked about with Kaffa in the post-match for the match build-up for the Fresno game, as he's someone that hasn't performed this season but has been around the league, and you know he can make something happen.
Yeah, it's a guy who he scored against us. He's super pacey out there. I think we'll see a guy like Shannon Gomez probably be dispatched to take care of him. So that'll be a fun little battle because don't get me wrong.
That side's going to be a fun one to watch.
Let's not get it twisted. Billy Forbes, if he plays, he's a problem because he's got probably as much pace as anybody in the USL, to be quite honest with you. So I'm not really sure why he's not producing a whole lot. But yes, they're a team. They don't score a lot from crosses. They like to get behind the defense. They like to play through the middle. Ever Guzman, their striker.
They like to take it into the box. They do.
Ever Guzman has 4 goals for them. He's their leading goal scorer. But he is more of a let me play off the center back shoulder and try and get in behind rather than get on the end of a cross. So they do like to play that 4-3-3, that 4-2-3-1. But they do like to play mostly through the central part of the park. So I think a guy like Ray Sari will be critical here to cut out some of those penetrating passes. And then, like we said on the other side, let's see if we can actually get through the center part of their defense because they are pretty leaky back there.
Yeah, and we talked about playing up on that left and Gomez having to do a job. He's also got Barnaby that's coming up on that side, playing in the left wing. That's also a very potent attacking force for them and can get that ball into the box to provide that cross, to provide that heads-up play on a lower cross too. And that's going to be something we're going to have to look out for. And that left wing is going to be a crucial sign on this one.
Absolutely. But again, you know, they do have a couple attacking players that can score. Yeah. You know, we talked about it. But this is a team, defensively, we got to beat them. Absolutely. They used to have a really good keeper. Diego Restrepo used to be their goalie. We know him. USL, he's on Austin now.
Austin, yeah.
Yes. But losing him, I think, is a big deal. But their back line, they are not very tight back there. I don't know if it's a lack of experience, a lack of talent, or what, but when I watch this team play, I see holes, I see gaps, and I think a guy like Cameron Iwasa can definitely take advantage of it. I would be surprised if he didn't get on the end of 1 or 2 in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're an aggressive team, too. So a guy like Iwasa, even like a guy like Bonomo coming in, can take advantage of those aggressive center backs and play off of them and either make them make a decision that's going to get them carded or get them to, get the free kick, or they're going to get behind them. So I think that's going to be a crucial lineup, too.
Yep. Cool. So I guess what do you expect to see from the lineup? I mean, I know this week it's kind of hard to tell with the midweek game. We don't know if Elliott's going to put out the starting 11 on Wednesday and then the best starting 11 again on Saturday. We don't know if he's going to mix it up on Wednesday. So what's your thought process going in if you had to predict the starting lineup?
As we've talked about, Elliott needs to get results right now. This is a game we're going to take.
It's a big 3 points. I mean, we can't even stress this enough, right?
There's no, I'm going to take a rest on this one and let guys go. You need your strongest starting 11 on all these games. You need your starting 11 to start clicking terrific together, and you need that to happen now. So there's no breaks. The Open Cup's a chance to do that, and as you're watching this, that's already done, so you know the results. We don't right now, but that could be a crucial win for us to build onto this like we talked about, so it has to be a strong starting 11 for this. I think you put Iwasa and Blackwood up top. I think you have your back four that we've known to rely on a little bit more. Tainter, Kynan, McCrary, Gomez in the back.
Yep.
We talked about how Gomez is going to be key here. I would like to see maybe Skundrits in the middle, something that can hold their midfield off, like players that are coming up, like we talked about with Barnaby, Forbes, those guys, someone that can hold them off. So that's, for me, what's going to be crucial. It's got to be a strong starting 11.
Yeah, you hit it right on the head. I agree with you. I think Blackwood and Iwasa, I think that might be the pairing on Saturday night. Obviously, I think we discussed in the previous video, I think Bonomo or Blackwood, whoever gets that start against Fresno, will either earn their way into the starting lineup on Saturday or earn their way into the bench on Saturday.
Yeah,
I really think we're at that point right now where it's like you got to play who the hot hand is or who's playing the best last time, right? I think we all expect Warner to be on the left. No questions asked. The right-hand side, that's where it gets tricky, because if Blackwood is dispatched as the center forward, does Horde play on the right? Does a guy like...
well, and if Bijev's healthy, where does he
start?
Yeah,
Bijev, exactly. If
Warner's playing out on the left, and that's where Bijev was normally playing for us, where does Bijev slot in?
It might be interesting. I just said Warner plays on the left, but if Bijev is healthy, maybe you put Warner on the right because of that cutback ability.
Yeah,
kind of like how Liverpool has Sadio Mane on the left with the right foot, and you have Salah on the right with the left foot.
Yeah.
Maybe you see a little bit of that dynamic with our guys when Bijev's back in. But I guess we'll see. I do expect Sarri for sure in there. I actually would think that Partain gets the nod over Skundrich if healthy, because Partain was really playing well for us.
He's been good, yeah.
Villarreal could also play too. We have options there. The back line, I think, it's going to be Kynan, Tainer, McCrary, Gomez, and then you have to put Josh Cohen back in the goal. I think that's our best 11. If Bijev's healthy, for sure, I think he gets a run on Saturday night. I think he is, even though he started off the season poorly and he's been hurt, I think he has enough credibility, enough experience on this team to know that when he's healthy, he should be back in the starting lineup until he doesn't produce maybe further along. But I think you insert him right back in.
Yeah, if you go with the 4-4-2, I think you can insert Bijev right back in the wing. And for me, almost, just move Warner over a little bit on the left, because you're playing that 4 block. So you would have Bijev, Warner, Villarreal, and Horde for me in that middle lineup. And that would provide good wings with Bijev and Horde, who we know can provide good crosses, and they can build up on that side. And that lets Warner kind of work in the middle. And we've seen he's kind of tricky. And if you give him the room to play back and forth, he can create some good opportunities, especially with a guy like Iwasa and Blackwood playing up top, where he can get a little ball over the top or a little through ball. I think that would be a good lineup. But that's if Bijev's healthy, and that's, if he decides to play a 4-4-2.
Yeah.
He likes the 4-2-3. The coach likes the 4-2-3-1. So most likely we'll see that formation, which would be Iwasa up top and the similar back.
Yeah, all right. So I guess we got to go with our score predictions. I'll let you go first.
You called the 2-1 for the Open Cup, and I'm going to call it for this one. I think we are going to get the result here. I do think they have some firepower, and our back line's not quite at where we want it to be. So I think they will nick one off on us, but I think we can get a couple against their back line too. 2-1, a pretty comfortable overall victory, though. I don't think it's going to be a game that we're going to fret as much as the fans have in the recent days.
I have us winning this game 2-0. I think that there will be some moments where our back line and where our keeper is tested, but I think we'll see Cohen probably come up with a big save here or there. I think he gains his confidence back. I think Awasa nets one.
Yeah, Cohen has to be in there.
Yeah, and I think that we'll see a goal by someone who has not scored yet this season. So it could be a Bijev, it could be, who else? Alamon, it could be a Horde, it could be...
Alamon's a guy we don't even think about.
Partain hasn't scored yet, right?
I don't think so, not in actual play. I think he's...
So Villarreal has scored, Skundridge has scored, Werner has scored, Awasa has scored, Blackwood has scored. So
Tainter scored. Tainter
maybe a Bonamo gets one. I don't know. Well, I think we'll see one by somebody who has not scored, but I do think the other one will be by the tried and true Cameron Awasa.
Our top player.
Absolutely. So we want to know your thoughts. Let us know what you think. Are we going to win? What's the score? Who do you want to see in the starting 11? And will you be tailgating? The weather is supposed to be absolutely perfect. I saw that Saturday is supposed to be high 80s. So
the tailgate's back.
I would say that 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, all the way up to game time at 7:30, it should be really good weather in the 80s, sunny, a nice change, especially from the last home game that we were at where it was a downpour. It was freezing, but let us know if you'll be out tailgating, and let us know your thoughts. Of course, hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Share this video with your friends. Anybody who's going to the game, let them know to check out the preview, because, you know, when you go to a sporting event, when you go to a game, you always want to know, like, who you're playing, like, who should I be looking for? Should I be looking for this guy? Oh, what about the other team? Who are their best players? So, you know, we're doing that here for you. Let us know your thoughts, suggestions, and I guess we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. Just a final note, this video is a little dark because I forgot to turn my light on, so if our faces look a little dark on this one, that's why. Peace.
Later.